What's up, rock stars? Coach Betty Rocker here. Welcome to this super fun sculpted hamstrings, booty, and abs workout. For today's workout, we are going to need some type of elevated surface to brace your back against for some single leg hip thrusts. So this could be an ottoman like what I'm using from my living room, a couch, a chair, a bench if you're in the gym, just something that's about knee height that you can brace your back against. Of course, you'll need some assorted weighted objects as this is primarily a lower body routine. You may be using dumbbells, you may be using household objects like water jugs, you might be in the gym and have access to barbells. Whatever you're using for today's workout, make sure that you are ready to go. An option for the hamstring curl today is the exercise ball. We've gone over some options in the past. You could also use something to slide on a carpeted surface with. Maybe it's cut up pieces of cardboard boxes, sliders, stretchy band you can lay on your stomach and pull against this as an option. You got lots of great options for those hamstring curls. We're gonna start out with the single leg hip thrust to really get into that posterior chain. So go ahead and come on down and sit up against your elevated surface. I'm going to begin by doing just a couple with one weight across my lap for balance, and I'm just gonna get my feet in the right position just to sort of show my body where I'm going. And as I come up, what I mean by right position is that my knees track in line with toes and we're at about a 90-degree bend. Now, you could do this just body weight, or of course, you can do it with some resistance. I'm gonna move that resistance to the hip on the side that I'm going to keep the leg down. I'm going to lift the other leg, and then I'm going to continue in this exact same fashion, working one side of my glutes, really getting into that. Now, something I'm really paying attention here to is not letting this leg's hip dip down to the side. I'm keeping my hips very level and flat. Very important. Engage through your core and feel this work your glutes and probably some hamstring activity as well here. Great job. I want about 8 to 10 reps here, and if you can do more than that and you're still not fatigued, just do as many as you can until you can't do any more. And when you get to the top of your rep range on that first side, I want you to switch it out and do the same number of reps on the other side. Whew! You should definitely be feeling that burn. Remember to work at your intensity range. That's where it's tough for you with the weight you've chosen, whether it's body weight or any amount of resistance, to go past 10 reps today. So if you're able to go way past 10 reps, try adding a little more resistance. And if you don't have more resistance to add, you can try adding a pulse or a pause at the top of each rep. Great way to make lighter weight feel heavier with this particular move. And when you get to the top of your rep range and you can't do any more, set your weighted objects aside and we'll take a quick breather before we move on to our second move. Don't let me rush you with any of these moves. Finish at your own pace. I'm gonna have some aminos, get those circulating in my system. Of course, I'm using my Betty Rocker Rock and Restore aminos because not only do they have the complete essential amino acid spectrum, I added an optimal dose of leucine, the BCAA, that actually helps with muscle protein synthesis the most. So that's why I'm drinking this. Okay, moving on, we're gonna do some Romanian deadlifts. And that means that the legs are gonna be straight, so really targeting the hamstrings, the glutes, and engaging the lower back to help support us. So I want a 6 to 10 rep range for your RDLs. And you can just warm up for this by performing the move a couple of times. Sometimes it's helpful to just reach for something in front of you that's at about hip height. And you're gonna press your hips back with straight legs and then come back to standing. All of this action is happening right here in your core and glutes. So you're pressing your hips back with a flat back and pressing them forward. Now, I want you to choose resistance that really challenges you in that rep range and do your best. Shoulders back, core braced, sending the hips back, and then powerfully driving them forward. One mistake I see people make sometimes when they come up is to sort of lean back. So don't do that. You want to come up straight as an arrow. Keep those weighted objects in, touching your legs as you come forward and back in this pose to help protect your back. If your arms are floating out away from your legs, you've got some strain on the lower back, which I want to help you avoid. For those of you who don't have anything heavy enough to really challenge you in the rep range for this particular move, you can switch to a staggered stance deadlift where you have one leg back and most of your weight is on your front leg. And you've probably seen me do this single leg variation before. That's a great way to challenge yourself more with lighter equipment. Great job. Finish your set strong. And if my rep range doesn't work for you, just do what works for you. Go to where you're fatigued in those muscle groups. When you're ready to set down your weighted objects, be sure to set them down by bending the knees, protecting your back, and we'll take a breather. One thing that people tend to notice is that the heavier they go with equipment, the longer you need to rest. And that's totally normal because the volume of intensity has gone up. So your body needs a little bit longer of a recovery period. Tune into this in yourself and just listen to your body. If I'm doing a workout with lighter equipment and you're using something heavier, feel free to pause the video and rest a little bit longer. Always your choice. Move number 3, we're gonna really target those hamstrings and isolate them with a hamstring curl. So I'm gonna use my exercise ball, but I could also use sliders. I could also use a band. There's lots of ways to target that hamstring curl. So get yourself in position, bracing through your core, regardless of your chosen prop. Lift up through your hips and draw those heels in towards your glutes. Your arms at your sides are there to support you. If you don't need the extra support, you can put your hands behind your head and make it even more challenging for your core and your balance. I highly recommend working on balance and focusing first on the curl in your legs. I want 10 to 15 of these reps if you can. Do your best to really press down through those heels to activate your hamstrings fully on both sides. Now this is a move that really doesn't require a ton of resistance. That's because the hamstrings are fairly thin muscles and they will respond quickly to this type of activity. You can, when you're ready to take this to another level or make it even harder for yourself, do a single leg hamstring curl, which will just make your body work that much harder. But today I am just fine with having both feet down. When you get to the top of your rep range, lower your hips down, move any props that you used out of your way. Take a quick breather and we'll move into our 4th move, which is the calf raise. Now, if you've been with me for this entire series, you've seen the calf raise multiple times. And today we're going to be working through those 3 variations once again, just targeting the calves in different positions. So find an amount of resistance that really challenges you so that you can get through 5 reps of all 3 foot positions that I'm going to take you into. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just follow along. Stand tall, feet face forward, shoulders are back, core is braced. We lift our heels, feet are parallel to one another, and we're counting to 5 with our lifts. Great job. When you get to 5, go ahead and bring your heels to touch and continue to lift for 5 more. And if you're still with me, of course you can stop at any time. We're going to put our toes together and lift in this position that might mess with your balance a little bit. So just sink back into your heels, reset your balance. And when you get to that top of the 5, if you have more in the tank, you can go through as many sets of 5 of those same sequences as we just did. I'm gonna go for as many as I can, just switching every 5. And that's about the top of where I'm gonna go, but please continue as long as you are able to. Great job. Quick breather. And we're going to do our 5th move in this sequence, which is an alternating reverse curtsy lunge. I'm going to invite you to go for about 8 to 12 on each side today. So select an amount of resistance that you think would probably get you there, and don't worry if it doesn't work out that way. You've got 2 more rounds to do this circuit. So when you're ready, grab your weighted objects. They can stay at your sides or come up onto your shoulders. Bracing through the core, we're going to start by stepping our left foot back. Knee comes down behind the right toe. Repeat on the other side. Right knee comes down behind the left toe. So we're just stepping across behind us while maintaining a 90-degree bend in the front leg. If this bothers you for some reason, first try tuning into your core engagement, working on keeping your body upright and not bending forward at the waist. And if it's still not really a great move for you, consider stepping straight back into a regular reverse lunge and see if that helps a little bit. Nice work, come on. Count your reps. Keep that core engaged. Hips stay square facing forward. We don't rotate the hips back when we're stepping back. Nicely done. 8 to 12 each side. Last one for me. Don't let me rush you. Finish your set strong. Set your weighted objects off to the side. Move any props out of the way. Get yourself set up for single leg hip thrusts, round 2. Think back to how many reps you did that first set and what the amount of weight that you chose felt like. Was it the right amount? Another option for you if you have light weights or lighter than helps you stick within the rep range is put 1 across each hip crease. So you could have 2 and you could still balance with them in your hip creases. The other option is to have 1 weight on the side that you are going to be working on. So both of these work great. So let's begin. Come on up and release it down. Great job. Keep those hips nice and square. Don't let them rotate down. Count your reps. Check in with your foot. Is it bent at a 90-degree angle when you come up? Remember, we get to be here today. We don't have to be. We chose this. Choose health. You are doing an amazing job of contributing to that health savings account that will support you for years to come when you work out. I'm switching to the other side. Great job. Keep breathing. Keep tuning in to your form. Form's one of those things, we come in and out of it as we start to fatigue or as our attention drifts. So one of the reasons I love training like this with you is that we're constantly checking back in with our form, which constantly helps us be present to our bodies, helps us practice that body awareness and that mind-muscle connection. Great job. Quick breather. We'll move into our deadlifts. Now, while you're recovering from your last move, I'll just do a quick demo of the split stance deadlift in case it helps to have a refresher. So we've got most of our weight on the front leg, very light weight on the back leg. We're keeping a flat back as we hinge and then come back up. And you'd want to do the same number of reps on both legs. Just a great option if you don't have anything heavy enough to really challenge you with a regular deadlift. When you're ready, get yourself set up, core braced, hips come back, weights staying close to our body. Back is flat, no arch in the back, no rounding in the top of the back. Shoulders stay locked in place, back and down. We don't let them round forward as we come down. Nice job. The action is happening at the hinge of your imaginary door. So if my back is the door and my legs were the door frame, my butt is the hinge. And those two surfaces, the door frame and the door, are flat and straight. They open and close. So allow that hinge to spring open and close, and keep your back flat, keep your legs straight. Count your reps. When you get to the top of your rep range, set your weighted objects down. with control. If you're doing a single leg variation, it might take you a little longer to finish this particular move. Be my guest. Move 3, hamstring pull-ins, or hamstring curls, whatever you want to call them. And you know what? I'll do a set with my sliders for my second set, just to give you a visual on how that looks for fun. Now, I've got fancy sliders, but I often will use box tops, frisbees, if I'm somewhere that I'm not accessing all of this type of fun equipment. There are a lot of different options for these types of moves. So I'm going to do a really similar position. I'm just going to lay on my back. Get yourself in position. I'm lifting my hips and I'm sliding in and out. Now, when your feet aren't up high on a ball, it may be easier for you to find that balance through your pelvis and brace through your core. Really keep lifting through those hips, and you can make, I feel just as challenged by this in many ways with my hamstrings because I'm really focusing on digging down through my heels. I'm gonna remove the support of my arms to make it even more challenging. So there are lots of options to make this move really tough. You've got this, come on. Finish your set strong, 10 to 15 or 15 to 20. See what you can do today. That's it for me. Oh, super tough. Our next move is a calf raise. Set up your space. Getting ready for that series. Toes forward, toes out, toes in. Safely pick your weights up, just like you safely put them down, protecting your body at all times. Toes face forward, core is braced, and lift those heels for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, heels together. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Toes together. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. If you have any more left, feel free to go through another sequence of that as far as you can. As many as you can. Oh, that's it for me. Feel free to continue. This is your workout. You got this. We're going to set ourselves up for alternating reverse curtsy lunges. Round 2. Do you feel your hamstrings, your glutes, your core all working super hard for you today? Why did I call this workout Sculpted Hamstrings, Booty, and Abs? Your core has to do so much work to stabilize you in deadlifts, in those hamstring pull-ins. Even in a single leg hip thrust, you've got to work to keep your hips from shifting, and that all comes from core strength. So just every move that you're doing today is targeting all of these different muscle groups and having them work together as a unit. So let's begin. Stand tall, step it back, behind you, counting your reps. Body is nice and upright. We're going at a smooth and steady pace. If your knee touches the ground, it does so very gently. It's not slamming down behind you. Good work. Use your breath. Check back in with your alignment. Hips stay square. Great job. Stay focused. When you get to the top of your rep range, you can set down your weighted objects and take a breather. Be sure that you are always setting down your weighted objects safely for yourself, taking care of your body. We're going to breathe, recover, set up for round 3 of single leg hip thrusts. Find your elevated surface. Get your legs underneath you in reverse tabletop with your back braced. Using 1 or 2 weighted objects in your hip creases. We're going to bring ourselves up into reverse tabletop and then extend through the opposite leg. And then we'll work on driving up with that single leg. Great job. Come on, rock stars. When you get to the top of your rep range on that first side, I want you to switch it out. Don't let me rush you. This is genuinely my workout as well as yours. Let's go. I love that I get to work out with you. Oh, so awesome. Come on, let's go. Even out your reps on both legs. Make sure that knee is bent to 90 degrees. This is your last set of these. Unless you want to do bonus set, I mean, be my guest. When you get to the top of those reps, set your weighted objects aside. Quick breather. And we'll move into our last set of deadlifts. I've given you a couple of great variations for that. So hopefully you found something that's challenging you today. Catching your breath. Great work. Set yourself up for success. Core is braced, shoulders back, sending the hips back, powerfully coming back up, straight as an arrow. Awesome work. When you get to the top of your rep range, safely set those weighted objects aside. Quick breather. We'll move into our last set of hamstring curls. I'm going to go back to using my exercise ball. Please take any variation that suits you. Bracing through your core, using your arms and hands however you need to support yourself. Begin your set. And I want 15 to 20 if you can. Do your best. If you're doing less than that, you're in a pretty good zone of challenging yourself today for whatever the variation you've chosen is. It may be that a different variation you could do more with, but always experiment and see where you feel the most challenge, and you can work between what challenges you the most and what challenges you moderately as you're building your strength. It's always good to have options. There are some days where we just don't have the same energy to train, and it's good to be able to move, but to do it with a little bit less intensity. When you get to the top of your rep range, move any props or equipment out of your way. Take a quick breather. We'll move into our calf raises. Last set. Choose an amount of resistance that challenges you in the 5 and 5 and 5 sequence. So we're going to start with our toes facing forward, lifting the heels 5 times. Great job. Heels together, another 5. toes together for 5. And you can stop right here, or if you want to continue, you can do another 5 of each sequence for as many as you can. That's it for me. When I can barely lift my heels. Oh my gosh. Quick breather. If you're still going, finish your set. We've got one last move to do for today's workout. It is the alternating reverse curtsy lunge. So for this move, you'll want your weighted objects, you'll want some good core engagement, and you'll want to be rested from your last couple of moves so that you can tackle this final move strong. When you feel ready, go ahead and select your weighted objects. You can hold them at your sides or put them on your shoulders, and we'll begin stepping behind our front heel and repeating that on the other side. Nice 90-degree bend in that front leg. Your body comes down in a nice straight line. We're not bending forward deliberately at the waist. We're paying attention to keeping our shoulders back. Nice work. This also targets your core in a big way. It takes a lot of core strength to support your body. And it's really this integration that I built in today's workout, where we're working your hip flexors and your hip extensors and targeting moves that encourage your core muscles to kick in to stabilize your pelvis. I want you to feel strong and balanced and support your joints. You got this. Count your reps. So strong. Come on, rock stars. Let's finish this. You got it. Last one for me. Set your weighted objects down when you're done. Don't let me rush you. Amazing job on today's workout, Rockstar. Now, hey, if you're in Rock Your Life, you can grab the custom cool down stretch that I created for you just here in the class library. But if you're not in Rock Your Life, join us. We would love to have you. We have workouts of all types, all lengths, using varying types of equipment, using no equipment, helping you progressively increase your strength, and with a strong focus on women in different life stages. So maybe you'd like to hear more about training with your cycle. Maybe you'd like to hear more about training in perimenopause or training postmenopause. We cover it all, and we have customized guidance for you in every life stage, because we are all about you getting stronger and working with your body as you go through time so that you end up depositing constantly in that health savings account so that you can always feel strong and secure in your body. As always, I'm Betty Rocker. You are so awesome, flawsome, and amazing. Grab that trial link to the Rock Your Life program, and I would love to see you there. Bye for now.